How's it going, everybody? This is Jermaine Vidal. You can follow me on JV88_football on Twitter or on this channel. I'm going to go through some of the picks I like for DraftKings EPL for tomorrow, September 2nd. The main slate picks is a 4-game main slate with a massive favorite in Manchester City. So we'll touch on that. Mainly some like core plays, so cash game plays, and then I'll throw out some GPPs and talk about some of the priced up guys, which ones I would prioritize for GPP, and then which ones for cash games. So starting off, we'll just read off the odds. All games start at 10 a.m. Eastern, and the first game on the list is Brentford at home taking on Bournemouth. Brentford's minus 137. Bournemouth is plus 375. The draw is 280. Next up is Burnley at home taking on Tottenham. Burnley's plus 280. Tottenham is minus 120 on the comeback. Third game, Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest. Chelsea at home minus 278. The comeback on Nottingham Forest is plus 750. Final game is that Manchester City at home minus 588 against Fulham, who has a comeback of plus 1,400 on the road. All right, so real quick, we'll go through the players that I like for DraftKings. The first one, we're going to start off in the Burnley versus a Tottenham game. My top core play for this game, and regardless of whether it's cash games or GPP, I like him all around. Is going to be James Maddison. He's coming in on DraftKings at 9,800, and the reason that I like James Maddison is like I talked about in the betting video. Tottenham is producing on offense. They're getting some chances up. They're keeping possession, and they're firing at will at the net, seeing what sticks, what finds the back of the net. And I do like them to come away with the win. But the main thing with Maddison for DFS purposes is Maddison actually is holding virtually all the set shares now. The penalties, I believe he's not going to be on the penalties. I think that still belongs to Son Heung-min. But Maddison at 9,800, I think with Chelsea being massive favorites on the slate, and with Manchester City being massive favors as well at home, and their prices being marked up, I think Maddison will go overlooked, like lower owned than he should be on GPPs, and maybe even passed up in a couple of spots in cash games. So I do like Maddison. He has the 2 point small sample size, of course, since it's his new team. It's only been a handful of games through 3 games, but we saw the same kind of similar production rather, when he was in Leicester City for all those years, averaging 2.86 shots per match, 1.43 of it on target, 8.93 crosses. That's between open play and corner sets, and then 6.79 scoring chances created per match. Now that is unsustainable, and some counterpoints to that would be that Burnley is mid-tier or better in shots on targets allowed, and they are towards the bottom, not quite at the bottom, around mid-tier, towards slightly leaning towards the bottom in corners allowed, and but they are one stat that stands out. They also have played one less game than everybody else. One of their games got postponed, but if you were to take even a 3 or 4 fouls under the average of how many they're committing per match, they would then still sit as a top 4 team in terms of fouls committed. That plays into the hand of James Maddison. He handles a lot of the possession in the midfield for Tottenham. They get the ball to him and let him create. So he does well to draw a lot of fouls. He's notoriously drawing north of 3.5 fouls per match throughout his time in Leicester as well. And Burnley fouling him just puts him back on that set to deliver crosses to get the upside potential of an assist, or if it's close enough, if he takes a direct attempt and finds the back of the net. So very least crossing volume. Some teammate gets a header on it, even if it doesn't go in, it's still a created chance. it builds up and adds up points to give him a solid floor. I think he definitely can still reach north of 16 or 17 points on his floor, and then one goal or assist, and he's gonna easily pay off this asking price. Moving on from so that's for cash, and then for as far as GPP players, I think Son is a good GPP option just because he's gonna go overlooked. He hasn't been scoring. He was in bad form towards the end of last year as well. He's off of the set shares, which made him valuable. Was the even half of set share usage a season ago for Tottenham. He's still priced up north of 9,000, which is hard to get to, especially with those other two teams on the slate. But for GPPs, I do think Son has gotten the looks. He's just in a couple of games, he just shot it way over. So north of 5%, maybe between 5 and 10%. I think you're gonna get enough leverage if you are running multiple lineups. But for single entry and cash games, I wouldn't be able to get to Son, and also I wouldn't be able to get to Pedro Porro just because a lot of his why I was so high on him last year was the set shares that he did have when he first arrived to Tottenham and his open play volume. If he starts, I know he has the open play ability to go up, get some open play crossing volume, but he's still one of the higher priced defenders, and there's not that much wiggle room, honestly, with Chelsea and Manchester City, and I think those are teams you have to get pieces of. So Porro, GPP play only for me. I think as far as cash games, it is Maddison, and that's it as a one-off. In GPPs, if like a two-man stack, it would have to be Maddison and Porro, just because their prices are going to have people off of them, or Maddison and Richarlison. I know he hasn't been producing for Tottenham, but he is like 5,600 only, so it's worth a shot in GPPs. If he scores, he definitely paid off that asking price, and the low salary lets you spend up for some pieces that, elsewhere that I think you are going to need. So Son and even Kulusevski or Kulusevski, Dejan, however you say his name, I think I cannot get to them, and but Maddison, Porro, and Richarlison for GPP are all in play. Maddison strictly for just cash games. From the Burnley side, I really have little interest in them. I know they're priced down their players, but I can't get to them. I think there's just not enough roster spots. So we're gonna move on to what's the next match we got? Brentford versus Bournemouth. Sorry. So from this side, I do like Bryan Mbeumo, and I think the reason why is I'm not exactly sure who is fully on the set piece. I know Matthias Jensen takes him sometimes. We've seen Bryan Mbeumo between last year take some corners as well. And Mbeumo's main appeal to me is cash game. I mean, it's GPP, not cash games, and it's the price, because the price is going to have people off him. You see this price, and then you look at a guy from Chelsea and a guy from Manchester City that we're going to talk about in a minute, and you're going to flock to them instead, and they're actually a little bit cheaper than Mbeumo. It's just I like Brentford at home against Bournemouth. As we've touched about in the different videos, Bournemouth is allowing a ridiculous amount of corner kicks, so there is upside there for Mbeumo. There's also upside for Jensen if as long as he's still taking some of them. But I do expect Brentford to be able to score on Bournemouth. And Mbeumo is involved in their goal contribution, if it's an assist or scoring on his own. He does have some brace upside if this does get out of hand for Bournemouth. And the open play crossing volume is still there. He hasn't been drawing fouls, but his shot volume has created chances. He's very active. He's given license to shoot from wherever. And with the penalty and even direct close enough set shares, I wouldn't see why he wouldn't test his luck. Ivan Toney's still gone. It's in Buemo's team, and the price will keep his ownership low. So GPPs, I do like Brian and Buemo. And GPPs stacking with Brentford. Yona Wissa is absolutely fine. They link up well together. He's not priced too outrageous. And on the wing, the attacking defender Rico Henry has some appeal for a cheaper defensive spot for stacking. Maybe no more than a 2-man with Brentford. And Buemo, and even you can go on Buemo and Jensen for the higher floor in GPPs, or you can go and Buemo with one of Rico Henry or Yona Wissa if you want to go for like 2+ goals and have them split between Buemo and Wissa. It'll definitely get you leverage. I don't see many people getting too much exposure if it's not just one-offs from Brentford side, if even that. On the opposite side from Bournemouth, the corner sets and the set shares seem to be a bit split for Bournemouth. I think that don't even know how to say his name. Justin Kulivert. I don't even know if that's right. I think he is taking some of them. I think he took some. He did take some in some of the games. I'm not sure based on the starting rotation if Ryan Christie will be taking some, but it'd be pretty much one of them two. I think taking the corner sets. I just think for Bournemouth, their best path to scoring is on counter attacks. I don't think they're going to be necessarily keeping too much possession. Brentford does really well to keep possession, especially at home. And really based on the possession and the attacking from the left side, or Bournemouth's left side, I do like Milos Kerkis. Definitely don't know how to pronounce his name. I think that's right. Sorry if it's not. But Milo Kerkis, just because, open play. Again, I'm not convinced that Bournemouth is going to have a ton of possession. But if when they're on the counter, open play, Kerkis does have nice deliveries for chances. You can get you like two or three crosses. Hopefully a teammate gets on the end of it, even if it's not a goal. Is still going to stack up those DFS points. But mainly it's his defense. Given that they're going to be playing, in my opinion, they're going to be playing defense so much, they're going to be attacking to his side. He does lead the team in tackles won and interception. He's averaging about 4.33 on the team. I think that can only go up given Bournemouth's style of absorbing and then counter punching. I think that plays into Milos Kerkis' skill set of playing defense. If he does break out, he does have the ability to cross in open play, and maybe you get some upside there. But the defense is enough for me, and the price at 4,000, I don't really see a ton of value at the defender spot. But Kerkis definitely stands out to me. So I don't mind him as a one-off in cash games and also in tournaments. Again, I like a lot of the forwards, a lot of the midfielders. I have little interest in the defenders because the ones that I do have interest in are priced way too high, and that comes from Chelsea. So we'll move on to the Chelsea game. And Chelsea is going in against Nottingham Forest at home for Chelsea. And the main target for me as a core play, cash, GPP, the cornerstone for stacking and everything, from Chelsea has to start with Enzo Fernandez. He handles the set pieces. He has a floor to 2x minimum his price. I don't know why he's still only 6,500. With the addition of Moises Caicedo, he is the one instead of, I thought it was Kanagawa that was going to move up, but it is Enzo Fernandez that moved up to an attacking midfield role alongside with Raheem Sterling and Nicholas Jackson. So he's close to the net. He's not shy to shoot. He'll take his chances and he'll create some chances. While being in the attacking role, he saw 2 shots in his previous game. I think he still sits at just under 2 shots. Any kind of actual accuracy on any of those shots instead of hitting crossbars or posts, and he will easily 3x the price. The main reason I like him is the floor that he has. Anywhere from 5 to 8 crosses is fine. Chelsea has the attackers to get their head on the ball, regardless of whether they put it in the back of the net or not. And Enzo Fernandez, while he does commit fouls in open play, he is an aggressive tackler. You're still matching that up against him actually getting a 1 tackle. So that's the offset right there that I'm not worried about 3-4 committed fouls. I think he can win balls more times than not and add to his DFS score. But at the same time, he does well to draw some fouls. So his price is too low, in my opinion. I like Enzo Fernandez for all formats. He's a great salary relief. He's on a team that's a heavy favorite at home. Has been shooting and crossing at will. I think they get it done against Nottingham Forest, and Fernandez's price. In my opinion, he should be like around 7,800, maybe 8,000. Stacking pieces for alongside with Chelsea. Like I said a minute ago, it's really hard to fit in the Chelsea stack because they're priced ridiculous. Like on the wings, Malo Gusto is 6,700. I don't know if he runs into multi-assists. 1 assist alone is really hard to do in a soccer match, but 6,700. The open play crossing, I can see you making a case to play Malo Gusto. You're really, really chasing a clean sheet win. Again, me personally, I'm not high on Robert Sanchez. I think if Nottingham Forest sees more than 2 shots, they're going to hit the back of the net with 1. So Malo Gusto for me is too expensive. And if he's too expensive, Ben Chilwell is certainly too expensive at 8,700. He's gonna need multiple scores to pay off this price. His open play crossing volume was enough when he was handling the set shares. He's not on the set shares anymore, apparently. It seems to be Enzo Fernandez by himself now. So Chilwell is priced way too high to rely on just open play. Again, they also move their offense between the right side, between the left side. They're going to move between Chilwell and Enzo Fernandez, or Malo Gusto and Raheem Sterling, with a preference to Raheem Sterling's side. He has the speed. He can get around guys and cross it in the middle towards the box for Nicholas Jackson to try to finish. Chilwell, you really, really need a clean sheet. Absolutely need a clean sheet. Absolutely need 1 goal and an assist or 2 assists, some kind of combination like that. I don't think that price is there, honestly. So I think for Chelsea, that's all we got. I like their offensive players. I don't mind the price on Sterling. You need a goal, obviously, but I do think Chelsea's going to find the back of the net. I believe Sterling is going to be on the penalties, and Sterling, even if he doesn't score, he's got the open play work. He's got the drawn fouls. He's crossing. He's got the range to just cross from the wings, and he has the shot. He'll take his chances. He's a really smart player with this Chelsea side. So the open play work can still net him around, like, I would say 10.5 to around 11.5 is what on a floor is what I got. So that with any kind of goal contribution should get the job done. again, you're not really going to be projecting braces and stuff. The odds for people to brace and stuff, unless his name is Erling Haaland, is north of 350 on average. So on the odds, so you're not going to be projecting that. But one goal is good enough for Sterling. He won't completely destroy the lineup with his open play work should he fail to find the back of the net. From the Nottingham Forest side, in cash, I only think that Morgan Gibbs White makes sense because Forest is a lot better than a season ago, and once they concede, they're going to be pushing up, trying to get one back. Gibbs White handles the corner sets. The corner sets, and he does well with created chances and shots on his own. So his price makes all the sense in the world to me. 7,800. I think for cash games that's absolutely fine as well. Like if you want to take him as a leverage or rather a pivot to like a James Maddison, I think Gibbs White makes a lot of sense. And even him with Enzo Fernandez will help you get all the Manchester City you want for cash, which that's what everybody wants anyways. So Gibbs White's averaging about six and a quarter crosses per match. It's mainly on corner sets. Some of it's coming through open play, but the mixture of created chances and created chances and shots of his own is sitting north of 2.5 on average. And this is not coming against terrible teams. This is coming against good teams. Sheffield United is the exception. It's not good, but against Manchester United and against Arsenal. And keep in mind, both those games were on the road. So Nottingham Forest knows what to do on the road. I had said in a previous video when we bet them, their defense is terrible on the road, but their offense can't score as much. But they're still not they're not a team to just pass because they're going up against Chelsea. Morgan Gibbs White can do enough in open play. So 7,800 for me makes sense. I don't mind taking him. GPP, just like last week, GPP shots. Awoni worth a couple of shots. 7,200. He's gonna be sub 5% owned. It's just 7,200 is way too expensive for him. Everybody's going to see the odds, see Chelsea as almost a 3-1 favorite. So they're not going to take a goal-dependent striker in Awoni who just happens to have scored on his 1 or 2 goals in 3 straight games. I think they're going to pass on him. So a couple of percentage points if you're running multiple GPP lineups. Awoni is definitely worth a shot. From the defensive side, I do not mind Serge Aurier. The only reason that I would get to Kirkus from Bournemouth is because it's a $200 savings, and I'm finding it really hard to find low salary players. But like any mixture of, if you have the room, Serge at 4,200 and Kirkus, they're fine. And Serge is mainly because or actually I think his name is said Sergey or something, but all right, I'll confirm that for the next video. Serge, he's really good in a defensive role with 1 tackles, and it's dating back to last year, like north of 6 1 tackles and interceptions per match. And the good thing about him is he's so powerful that when he intercepts the ball, when he wins tackles off of the opposing player, he's good at keeping possession and having them foul him to bring him down, or else he's going to push on the counter the other way. So he has so many ways, especially at a low price, to regardless to whether he has a clean sheet, which I don't expect Nottingham Forest to get. He has so many ways where he can easily 2x his price just on defensive metrics alone. Again, if Nottingham Forest is able to to counter, or if they go down early and often to Chelsea and they start pushing up to try to get some goals back. Serge is really good also in the open play work, his crossing volume, and he'll take his shots from chances. So I like him for the defensive role. Under 5,000 is a great price for him. And again, we're trying to find sound relief for the final match, and we're going to the final match right now. It is Manchester City at home, near 6-1 favorites against Fulham. And the question is, I mean, cash games, it's gonna be 4 to 5 Manchester City players across the board for everybody. GPPs, I think 3 can keep you in line with their potential 2-3 goal games, and also not leave you as too much like chalk in the lineups, like in GPP lineups. So we'll start with one of the questions. I do not know if it's Phil Foden or Julian Alvarez that's gonna start. I believe it is Phil Foden, so we'll go with Phil Foden. I think Phil Foden is in line for at least his side of the pitch to take some corner sets. Regardless of the corner sets, Foden does do a lot of work in open play, the created chances, the shots on his own, the crossing volume from open play, and mainly the drawn fouls alone are dating back to when he actually runs 90 minutes. I know it's small samples of it and short spurts of it dating back to last year and the year before, but he can draw upsides of like 4 or 5 fouls per match. And then with the potential of having some set shares, his price at 9,000, I think, is a perfect. Let me just make sure that I think it was Julian Alvarez that I thought was sitting at 9,000. Yeah, Julian Alvarez at 9,000, I absolutely like. So Foden at 8,600, I like too for a core play. So cash game GBP, either one. I like Foden at 8,600. And then on the also the forward eligibility, I don't think there's a lot of good spots at the forward spot. So Foden having the midfield and forward eligibility allows you to fit him into core plays and still fit in any mix you want of like Enzo Fernandez with Morgan Gibbs White or James Maddison in the midfield role, which last week was overflowing with midfielders. And at least if you can put Foden in the forward spot, it helps you build a good base of floor plays. So moving on from Foden, I like him all around. There's not much to say. He does it all, and goals or assists are very much in the realm of upside for him, and the implied win percentage for Manchester City and the implied team totals for goals scored should have him contributing on one of those goals. Crossing over to the opposite side of Foden is midfield eligible only Jack Grealish. Grealish will handle the corner sets on his side. He does well historically, even dating all the way back to Aston Villa days. He does well to draw fouls. That's not going to stop. He's going to keep drawing fouls. He is a good producer. He always offers a floor. He's sitting at 8,200. I think for that price, with just because of the scoring upside that Foden has had and the scoring success between goals and assists that Foden has had over him, I think I'll just pay the extra 400 for Foden. But Grealish does have a floor. Just, I'm not quite sold on the upside. His floor is high enough that you can use him as one of your pieces in cash games. But the only reason I'll hesitate with this is, as far as GPP goes, is I'm big on Foden or Alvarez again, whichever one starts. I'm big on Erling Haaland. That shouldn't shock anybody. He's brace upside, averages four and change shots per match, very accurate, takes the penalties, and is going up against the Fulham side that does give up a ridiculous amount of created chances. So Erling Haaland, he's 10,400. That's still not a high enough price for Haaland. We've seen him up at close to 12,000 in some slates, like 11,800, 12,000. So Haaland, Foden, and rather than Grealish, just because I think it's a little sneaky, maybe I'm wrong, but Rodri in the midfield, he's taken on that role with small sample size, but it's 3 consecutive games now where he's taking on that vacant attacking midfield role that De Bruyne is not there for, and that Ilkay Gundogan had from the behind the back four, and then still jumping up and taking chances and just firing from whatever angle he wants. Rodri's taking the shots. He does well to draw some fouls. He's always good with the created chances. Does run the risk of some cards if he's fouling a lot, but I expect Manchester City to I haven't projected to hold 74% of the possession in this match. So I don't think Rodri's going to be put in too many predicaments where he's going to be forced to foul and risk drawing some cards out of the referee's pockets. So I like Rodri for the shot volume and chasing a goal. A goal and assist, anyone will do. He's 7,300. He's $900 cheaper than Jack Grealish. Helps you a little bit more to fit in Foden, Haaland, Enzo Fernandez. If you choose to punt the 2 defenders, you can find a way to jam in James Maddison in there. From the Fulham side, they don't have enough possession. I actually don't mind Leno. He's gonna get scored on, yeah, but he's gonna have the opportunity to get some chances, some saves too, right? So you have a team that's allowing just under 15 shots on target per match. It's a crazy amount. So yeah, maybe Leno lets in 3 goals or 4 goals. He's still gonna get you probably 7 to 8 saves. So at 3,600. I think that's enough to slot in and run the risk that maybe Manchester City only scores 2 goals and Leno has 7 or 8 saves. It's possible. He's 3,600. He's one of the cheapest goalkeepers, and I will say that maybe in consideration with Leno, you also take that similar approach to Matt Turner from Nottingham Forest. Again, Chelsea has been scoring. Manchester City has been scoring. They're both massive favorites. They're both at home. And the 2 sides they're playing against do allow a lot of shots on target. Leno's a good keeper. He will make some saves. He'll pull some saves out of his hat. Matt Turner, same thing. He's a very good shot blocking keeper. So under 4,000 allows you to fit in all the big guys you want. Maybe if you go a little bit heavier on Manchester City, you pivot to Matt Turner. And if you're making the bold move to fade Erling Haaland, you can still get those Manchester City guys on crossing volume, drawn foul volume, and shot volume without needing a goal like you would with Haaland. And you can counter that or play that with Leno. As far as keepers, you're chasing the win with Ederson, but 5,900. It's really hard to fit in anybody you want. There's not a ton of value, in my opinion, that's going to make you want to pay for Ederson. And if Ederson really is not going to see the amount of shots. You're absolutely needing the 10 point with the win and clean sheet. 1 save still might not do it. 2-3 saves is really what you're looking for, and you're going to hope they don't score on one of those three shots, or else you're absolutely dead with Ederson. Robert Sanchez, I already said in a couple of videos how I feel. I'll never pay for him. I don't mind Vicario from Tottenham. He's a little bit too priced up, but I think he'll see enough shots where if he gives up a goal, I think he still can come away with 4 or 5. I think he's a good keeper, so 4 or 5 saves. And if he gets only 3, 4 saves with the clean sheet win bonus, that definitely should pay up. Flecken is a similar role. He'll see enough shots. I think Tottenham will allow a lot more shots. I project him to allow 5.6 shots on target, and against Burnley, given that Burnley is at home. Brentford, the model's a little bit lower on. I see, it says Bournemouth to have just under 3 total shots on target. So that's why, based on their salaries, I think Flecken and Vicario are, if you're running multiple lineups, just split them 50-50 or something, or whatnot, 33%, and then mix in the other keepers that you want. Yep. So in review, cash games for me, James Maddison, Kirkus, the defender from Bournemouth, Sergio from Nottingham Forest, absolutely fine as well. Again, just the salary relief. Enzo Fernandez, midfielder from Chelsea, way too cheap in my opinion. I don't mind Morgan Gibbs-White at all. I think he's going to have a good outing, and he should be more of a $86, $87, $100 player, despite being underdogs going into Stamford Bridge. And from the Manchester City side, Foden or Alvarez, whichever one starts. Erling Haaland in cash, I think, is absolutely fine as well. I think the better move might be in GPPs. If you're bold enough to fade him, that could pay huge dividends, or it could just drown you if he braces. But that's the risk you take in GPPs. That's the way to jump the field. And GPP for Manchester City for cash, Grealish, I think, is fine. Rodri in GPP. Overall, for me personally, Rodri over Grealish for the shot volume upside. And then favorite stacks, Manchester City has to stay atop. Chelsea or Brentford, just because of the price of Brentford. Chelsea, so I would go Manchester City, Brentford, Chelsea, and then one off or 2 pairing only from Tottenham. One off from Nottingham Forest is fine as well, because I have no interest in Chelsea's keeper nor their defenders. If they beat me, then so be it. Their prices are way too high in my opinion. So I think that will do it all. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry if the video was longer today. Try to get through as much as possible. If you can do me a favor, like, subscribe the videos, and best of luck if you're on whichever plays you end up in tomorrow, and catch you on the next betting video or DFS pick video. Thank you guys again.